All right, we are recording.
This is Note-Taking Guide 1.7 for Mathematical Decision Making for Life. So you guys, today we're going to talk about careers and net income. So the very first thing that you're going to have to do on your homework assignment today is to actually find some of the wages that actual careers have. So there's this website that's called utahfutures.org, and it's a really neat website. So I'm going to just change to it for just a minute. What we're going to do is we're going to go and see how much a school bus driver makes. We're going to use this website to figure it out. On the website, we're going to have the median yearly wage, which is the average, actually it's the middle wage. It's not average, but what bus drivers make yearly. It's going to tell you what kind of education or licensing they need to have. Then I think it's interesting because they will compare Utah's hourly wage for that job as well as the United States hourly wage. What do you guys think Utah's going to compare? Do you think Utah will be higher or lower than the U.S. average?
Lower.
Probably lower. I agree with you on that too.
Isn't Utah like the worst paying state?
It is actually, yeah. So, all right. So I'm going to change over to this other screen for just a minute, and I'm going to show you how to go onto this Utah Futures to look up and see how much money these careers make. So if you go to this internet site, this Utah Futures, and you scroll down here to the bottom, so you're going to have to do this, so that's why I'm showing you how to do it. And you come over here to this menu over here that says careers. Underneath this careers, it says occupation search. Do you see the very top one right there? I'm going to click on occupation search, and it's going to take me to the search bar right here. And I'm going to type in, guess what? What are we looking for? Bus driver. So I'm going to type in bus driver, and then I'm just going to search, and it's going to bring me up the information. So on the school bus driver, it's kind of hard to read from here, but this one says bus driver. I'm not sure why ambulance driver came up first, but here's the bus driver. The annual wage in the state of Utah is $29,600. So yearly is $29,600. And I'm just writing that on my worksheet, so I'll go back to my worksheet in just a minute. The hourly wage, if you're looking at the hourly wage, you're going to put this down, bus driver hourly wage right here is $14.23 in the state of Utah. In the United States, the hourly wage is $19.13. And then over here it tells you what you have to have, and it just says you have to have a high school diploma. So when you filled that out on your paper, it should have looked like this. It's taking its own sweet time moving back and forth today. So the yearly wage was $29,600. You need a high school diploma in order to have that bus driver job. You also have to have a CDL. Does anybody know what a CDL is? It didn't say that there, but you'll have to do some special training, right? Which is a special license to drive a bigger vehicle. So I'm surprised that it didn't say that there, but if you know that it requires extra stuff, put it there. The Utah wage was $14.23, and the U.S. hourly wage was $19.13. So approximately $5 less to be a bus driver in the state of Utah compared to anywhere else outside of the state of Utah. Okay. All right, questions on how I use that website to do that? Okay, I'm going to show you one more. So this time we're going to do a dentist. So like I said today, you guys, you're going to do this on your own. So I'm going to show you one more time how to do it on this website. So again, you're still at utahfutures.org. And then when we get to that search bar, we're going to type in the word dentist. And it's going to give us the information about dentists. So again, I'm not sure why it doesn't come in order. Like dentist, if I search it, should have been at the top in my opinion. But it wasn't at the top. You see where it's at right here? So a dentist makes, on average, $105,910 per year. I mean, that's slightly better than the bus driver, right? In the state of Utah, that works out to be about $50.92 an hour. Outside of the state of Utah, it's $73.99 an hour. And then the education and licensing is you have to have a doctorate degree. And I just wrote all my numbers in the wrong spot, so I have to move them for you guys. Sorry. So the education is a doctorate degree. The Utah hourly pay, anybody remember what I said for it? $50.92.
Yeah.
And then the hourly US pay was $73.95. So part of today's assignment is I give you
99 cents.
Did I say it? Thank you. Part of today's assignment is doing exactly this, grabbing a Chromebook, looking it up on the utahfutures.org website and filling out charts like this, okay? After that, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take some of those incomes and we're gonna find the net income. So these are gross incomes, meaning the total amount that you're paid by an employer. The net income is the amount of income that's left after all deductions have been taken away from the gross pay. We've talked about some of the deductions. We talked about the FICA taxes, which are Social Security and Medicare. We've talked about income taxes. There's also retirement contributions and other things that can be taken out. So here's just a chart that reminds you of the things that you can take out. So income tax, federal income tax, state income tax, FICA, which is Medicare and Social Security. Do you remember the other day when I said the Social Security tax was capped off at $87,900? Well, last year and this year it's capped off of $132,000, which means you have to pay Social Security tax on the first $132,000 you make, not just the $87,900. That was an old number. I looked it up for this new worksheet that I made, and it's at $132,000. Okay, also insurance premiums can be taken off, and also involuntary deductions. Did you know that if you owe somebody child support, they can have your wages garnished? Garnished means that you don't have a choice of whether or not they take that pay out. They're going to take it out of your check automatically. The same thing happens if you are in trouble with the court and you owe somebody money. That money will be garnished also. It will be involuntarily taken out of your paycheck. And then another kind of thing you can take money out of your check for is a retirement or savings account, usually called a 401k. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the information that I'm giving you, and I've given you over the last several days, in order to figure out gross pays. Before we do that, though, we're going to take a minute. And do you remember when we did federal income taxes last time? We actually had a chart, and you looked under the chart for the specific amount of taxes. Well, this time we're going to do it ourselves. So they give us the percent amount of taxes that's taken from your check, depending on if you're married or single or head of household. And then it just tells you what percent of tax you would have to pay. So for instance, if you're 54,230 and you're married, I'm going to be looking under the married one, and I'm going to go to where 54,200 would fit into. 54,200 is between this 19,401 and this 78,950. Does everybody agree with me? It's in between those two numbers. So what percent of tax am I going to pay on my income? 12%. So this one says find the federal tax rate. So we're just going to write 12% over to the side right there. Okay. This time, this guy makes $1 million and some change a year. That's really lucky of him, right? And he's single. So we're looking down the single, and we're going to $1,300,000. So where's that going to be at? 37%. So imagine, you guys, 37% of your income would go towards taxes. That's a lot of money. Okay? All right. The next one. Anybody know what HOA stands for?
HOS is HOH.
Yeah. I said H, but it didn't sound like I did. HOH. It stands for head of household. So we're looking down this column over here this time at 28,000. So where does that fit in? Which tax bracket? 12%. Okay, and then one more time, 164,500 if you're single. I like that. You're right, 32%. So everybody understands how we're using this chart today to figure out the amount of money that we would pay in taxes. Okay, this time we're actually going to see how these are the same numbers. This time I want you to use these percents and actually figure out how much taxes they would have to pay. So on this first one, we decided up above that they're paying 12%. So we're just going to times that number by 12%. So take the 54,230 and times it by the 12%. And what amount of taxes did you get for them?
6,507
That is right. Nice job, Kasia. Okay. The guy who made $1 million, what did we decide he had to pay?
49.
Oh, so 37%. So you times by 37. And what did you get? 496,540.
540.
Thank you. That's a lot of money. That's almost $500,000 in taxes that he pays. That's a lot. Okay. This next guy, we decided he had to pay 12% taxes, so we had to times him by 12%. And what'd you get for that?
$3,376.08.
Perfect. And the last guy at 164,000, we decided he had to pay 32%. 52,640.
Yep.
Okay, questions on how I'm going to use this chart today to figure out the amount of taxes someone has to pay. Are we seeing how that chart works?
I don't get it.
You want to ask a question? No. Okay. All right, so now we're going to go back to our school bus driver and we're going to actually take his gross pay and figure out his net pay. So we're going to deduct all of these things out of it and figure out how much he really brings home. So come back over to the school bus driver and tell me how much they make a year.
29,000.
Yep, 29,600. So we're going to start with 29,600 and we're going to see how much money he ends up with after he pays everything. So the federal income tax, we're going to use this chart up here always for federal income tax. So it said that actually we didn't say whether or not he was married. Should we assume married or not married? What do you want to assume?
Not married.
Not married, so single. Okay, we're gonna assume he's single then. So go up to the chart and do $29,600. And what percent taxes does he have to pay? 12%. So on federal income tax, he's gonna pay 12%. So let's figure out what 12% is of that 29,600.
3,500.
You're right. Okay. Now, Utah state income tax. Do you remember that cheat sheet chart I showed you the other side that tells you how many things can be taken out? Did you see what the tax rate is in Utah?
5%.
5%. So guess what we're going to take out of his check for
5%.
5%. So let's figure out what 5% of the 29,600 is.
1,480.
Perfect. Okay, anybody remember how much Medicare tax was?
1.45.
1.45%. So of that 29,600, we're doing 1.45% of that.
429.20.
And anybody remember what Social Security tax was? 6.2. Now you guys check the income. Did he go over that 120,000 whatever a year it was? He didn't, right? So he's paying Social Security tax on all of that. So take the $29,600 and times it by the 6.2%. And what did you get?
$1,835.
Good. So if I want to know how much money he actually got to bring home, I'm going to take that $29,600 and I'm going to subtract all of those to get my net income. So right here it asked me to just add them together, so I only have to subtract one number from the 29,000. So let's add those four numbers together. You guys check my number for me because I did that really fast. Is that what you guys got? Yeah, it says $7,296.40. So then to find the net pay, you take the 29,600 and you subtract off the 7,296.40. And how much money does he actually come home with every year?
22,303 or 60 cents.
60 cents. That's quite a bit difference, isn't it, from the amount of money that his employer is supposed to pay him to the amount of money that he actually brings home. But that's what we're doing today, you guys. We're taking a gross income and we're getting it to the net income, which is the income without all of the deductions on it.